Hello and good morning. Let's take a look. We're trying to figure out the monthly payment. And here's the formula here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the principal, which is 8,000, times the rate, which is 0.04, because you have to change it to a decimal, and then 12 times the time. The time is 2.5 years. So you want to use 2.5 on that. And then this is going to be 1 plus the rate, and then 12 times minus 1. And then you got to use your calculator and figure all of that out, get the monthly payment. We're moving on to a new chapter. Copy this down right here. All right, so what we're dealing with here is sales tax. So if you buy a car for $7,400 and your tax rate is 8.5%, let's just use Pinellas County, which is 7%. Just so you know, 8.5% is 8.5%, which would be 0.085. Okay? So here you would take the price of the car that you list on the bill of sale times 0.07. Now remember, everyone must pay sales tax whether or not the car is new or used. Okay, look here at this ad. You get 5 lines for $31 for the first 2 lines. You're doing 5 lines, so copy all of that down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. It's $31 for the first 2, plus $6 for each additional line for 1 week. So it's going to be, you got 3, so it's 6 times 3. And this is for 1 week, so after you get this answer, you have to multiply by 2. So this is 18, so it's 31 plus 18, which gives you 49. So it's $49, but you're doing it for 2 weeks, so it's going to be $98. Okay? This one right here, let's take a look. It's $42 for the first 5 lines. So if the number of lines are less than 5, you're going to pay $42.50. Anything up to 5 lines. Okay? Now, if it's bigger than 5 lines, then you're going to pay the $42 for the first 5 lines, plus you're going to pay $7 for each additional line. So it's going to be X minus 5, because you already paid for the first 5 lines at $42. And this is the formula right there, if you're going to program a computer. All right, example 4 is the same way. What I want you to do today is workbook, or book rather, 1 through 18, and then worksheet A. Copy that down so you have it. Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. And by the way, you have a worksheet here, which looks like this. So if you can't be with us, here it is right here. And I'm going to make that a little darker so we can see it. And make it a little bigger so you can see it at home. Okay, there's the worksheet. Here's the back side. And then here's the last one. Okay? Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. Okay? So for college algebra, find the slope. To find the slope, you put the y's at the top. Remember, this is xy, xy. Most of you go backwards, so I'll go backwards. So -6 minus a -4 over 5 minus 2. So that gives me a plus, so that gives me a -2 over 3. And there's my slope. Okay, this one right here, graph it. Okay, so to graph this, you're going to use slope and y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 1. The slope is up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Rise over rise. Slope is called rate of change. Write that down. Rate. How fast something is changing. Rate of change. This one right here is a special case, so it's y, so go up, 1, 2, and it's sideways, so your line is 0, 0. This one right here, you want to subtract x from both sides, and when you do, you get y equals negative x plus 2. So to graph that one, you're going to go up 2, but the slope is a negative 1 over 1. So down 1, and then over 1, positive. But that actually is going down, so that is a negative slope. Okay, copy this down. Write a line through that point having that slope. So it's going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's called point slope. To do that, you're going to use your point. This is x and this is y. So this one actually comes first right here. So it's going to be y minus, but this is a minus, so it's going to be a double negative. The slope is 3, so it's going to be x minus my x. This becomes a plus. And there it is. So it's y plus 2 equals 3 times x minus 1. And you could leave it like that, or you could solve for y. This one says parallel and perpendicular, so pay attention here. If it's going to be parallel, it has the same slope. Write that down. Parallel, same slope. Perpendicular, you have to flip it and change it. And the book says negative reciprocal. So negative reciprocal. Okay? Anyway, so you're going to do negative 6 minus 4 over negative 5 minus a negative 2. So this becomes a negative 10. That's a plus, so that gives me a negative 3. So I get 10 over 3. That's my slope. So now, you might want to pick it through one of these points. We'll use the first one, whatever one they tell you. So it's going to be y minus my y equals my slope, and then x minus my x, but that's a double negative. Now, that's parallel. To do perpendicular, you got to flip this. So everything else is the same, right? That's a plus. But here you'd have to flip it and change it. Flip and change. Two things. Flip, change. So this one's perpendicular, this one's parallel. Today's work is right here. If you get stuck, ask for help. Have a good morning.